Hey everyone, Camden here with the Ranking Ball preview show for February 13th, 2019. Hope everyone had a great night, and let's get going. Here's last night's scores. You got the Lakers over the Hawks, Celtics over the 76ers, Spurs over the Grizzlies, Magic over the Pelicans, and Jazz over the Warriors. Coming to tonight's games, we've got a lot of them. We've got Nets at Cavs, Bucks at Pacers, Pistons at Celtics, 76ers at Knicks, Wizards at Raptors, Grizzlies at Bulls, Rockets at Wolves, Heat at Mavs, Kings at Nuggets, Warriors at Blazers, and the Suns at the Clippers. In the news, Joel Embiid had a choice of words for the refs after their 112-109 loss to the Celtics. 76ers are now 0-3 against Boston this season and tied for 4th in the conference. It seems recently, after the 76ers had acquired a pretty good team after the trade deadline, they're doing really well. They just seem to have problems against the Celtics this year. They're matching pretty well, even for the Celtics, who are kind of claiming that aren't having any fun anymore playing together. They're still producing a lot of some results and still producing a lot of points and wins these past couple of games. And I thought that maybe the 76ers would be able to pull it off tonight, beat the Celtics, but they just didn't have a chance tonight. Anthony Davis said that the team wasn't interested in playing when they lost their game against the Magic. I think a lot of these trade deadline post blues is kind of affecting the Pelicans right now. They are dealing with Anthony Davis, who probably doesn't want to be there, and he's maybe not like interacting with the team as much since being put on into the lineup. And I don't think the Pelicans try to pull maybe a fast one on Anthony Davis. Not really sure. I know Davis definitely wants to go to the Lakers. He's going to go to the Lakers, but probably not within this season. Next season. And Anthony Davis probably isn't playing his potential, maybe in spite of the Pelicans for doing that to him. But we'll see. We'll see what else goes on into the rest of the season. LeBron James might not be as passionate about making the playoffs this year. We all know that this is kind of a rebuilding for him in the Lakers, and he's doing a lot of stuff, a lot off the court. So I think maybe basketball is not a number one priority for him this year, just building up the team, getting the players that he wants so that he can make a run next year when hopefully the Golden State Warriors might not be as strong with Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. So we'll have to see what else in the season. In the NFL, Antonio Brown sent out a tweet thanking the Steeler Nation for a big 9 years, but that is time to move on and forward. But the Steelers still have Brown under contract for 3 years. We still don't know if what is going on between the Steelers and Antonio Brown. There hasn't been an official statement from the Steelers saying what they're doing with Antonio, but it seems like Antonio Brown wants to leave. Maybe he made a deal with the Steelers to get traded, but the Steelers still have Brown under contract for 3 more years, but we still don't have any official announcement from them. Side note, Brown was benched in the final game of the season for not reporting to practice. He obviously, there's a lot of tension between the Antonio Brown and the Steelers right now. He didn't attend practice before the final game of the year, and he was benched. On esports, Activision Blizzard cuts 8% of its workforce after reporting a net revenue record for 2018 with $7.5 billion. There's a lot of criticism going towards Activision Blizzard with the CEO, getting a lot of money this year as well. So the higher ups were making more money, but they cut about 8% of its workforce, meaning a lot of people who are involved in the community They sent out a statement saying, you know, their reasoning for moving forward with this layoff, saying that they want to focus more on esports and getting more streamlined within their production of their games. We also saw that the Bungie left Activision this year, earlier this year, and so that might have been a kind of forewarning of what was going to be happening right now with Activision cutting its workforce. Within CSGO, Valve patches a smoke exploit where you could spot enemies through smoke and on their radar. This patch comes hours before the start of the IEM Katowice Major. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. All right. And also, market research firm estimates that esports will earn about $1.1 billion in revenues in 2019. It's mostly going to be coming from more serious partnerships. We see the Overwatch League is getting a lot of sponsorships, a lot of corporate sponsorships this year from like Coca-Cola, and going to be broadcasting on ESPN and ABC. So we'll see a lot more money with that, and also with the broadening of audiences. Tonight's featured match, we got the Bucks at the Pacers at 7 p.m. Eastern. Here, injury report for the Bucks. Marichek has been out for a while, so you know he hasn't been in there a while, and we know that Victor Oladipo is out due to a knee injury he sustained a month in January, where he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Here are your previous game starters when the Bucks beat the Bulls and the Pacers beat the Hornets. Possible starters for tonight, it's going to be the same thing as the previous game, so no real changes within that lineup. Just one note is that Matthews, you know, was recently required, so he has been introduced into the lineup compared to previously before the trade deadline. Here's my winning 16. Here's who I think you should be drafting tonight, picking for your bingo card, and who looking at their average fantasy points. Antetokounmpo, there's a lot of disparity over there with Antetokounmpo getting 51 average points this season compared to the rest of the team. But there, you know, that team is still making a lot of points, especially with the other starters. Pacers without Victor Oladipo, who was comparative to Antetokounmpo, who was getting those higher fantasy points. We're seeing a lot more points from Turner and Young, who are gaining a lot more points this year due to Oladipo being out. So they're going to be getting more points this with Oladipo out. Here are my key takeaways for the game tonight. Bucks won 13 out of their past 15 games, so they're pretty much pumping on all cylinders. Antetokounmpo has missed a couple of games due to knee soreness, but is expected to play on Wednesday, so make sure he's put him in the prime spot. He's going to be the guy. He's going to be your key player of the night. He's going to be where a lot of fantasy points are going to be coming for you. The Pacers going for their 7th straight win against the Bucks. In the past 2 seasons, wasn't able to hold together for the first 4 games after Oladipo went down with the knee injury, but recently they've been on a 6-game streak, so they've been able to, you know, really get back together, pull it back together since Oladipo left with that knee injury. Over the last 5 games, Bucks are 4-1, Pacers are 5-0. You'll notice that the Bucks going up in points, have the advantage in points, and they're making a lot more field goals. So the Bucks are shooting a lot more than the Pacers are in the past 5 games, especially in 3 points. So you notice that the Bucks are shooting a lot more 3 points right here, 35 over 27. So take note of that. The Bucks are shooting a lot more threes compared to the Pacers, but are shooting a lesser percent. So this is my final say with the matchup when going into it. Pacers are going to move the ball around a lot, look for a lot more baskets, but are not hitting as many threes as the Bucks. Bucks start Antetokounmpo will garner a lot of points in that match, while Pacers are going to share the points. That means Antetokounmpo is going to be getting a lot of focus within that within his box, within his tile. So make sure you got kind of like a 3-to-1 ratio within this. Usually when you do have only like a one superstar on the team, that superstar is going to be getting a lot of points. So you want to surround the other team's players on the same line with him. And especially with the Pacers, looks good because they're sharing the ball, they're sharing the fantasy points throughout the whole match. So that's where you would want to kind of make your line right there. For example, this is my lineup for tonight, where I've got Antetokounmpo down here in the bottom corner with 3 other Pacers, with Collison, Young, and Turner lining up this main key line right here. So opposite, you have to have 1 and then 3 of these Bucks players on this line as well. So I'm surrounding Antetokounmpo with kind of a little bit okay players, surrounding him with them because I don't want to mess up this line right here. So I don't want this much as much. I want this to hit as many points because this is going to give me the most. I feel like the most fantasy points and the most bingo score multipliers within that night. That's the end of the stream. So I want to thank everyone for watching the Ranking Ball preview show for February 13th. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Telegram, and everywhere else on social media. I'll check you guys out tomorrow night. Have a good night. Bye.